Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon. Today, I will narrate the story of Feathered Leather written by Group Virtuoso. Inside the narrow cabin, black soles clicked against the thin carpet as the air swept with every passing attendant. When the call came just after midnight, heavy with the wilted sweetness of jasmine, it carried the news of a father's bed, sawed by the weight of dulling eyes. Zhaen squeezed her phone, and as the noise swelled, thickening and folding itself softly, it pressed flat into the hush of cushioned leather, smothering what little was left, maybe thin as air. Zhaen's watch flickered, spinning back to those bittersweet days of home. Her finger twitched, the plane jittering beneath her, echoing the jolts when she'd kept hidden with every clash of sparks from Yusuf's mouth. His voice thickened and rose. The room seemed to bite itself as the smooth walls absorbed every ounce of accusation and bitter guilt. The plane plummeted downward, clouds gently scattering. Glancing out, she saw tropical greenery and blinding light, the humidity pinching through her clothes. She stood up, sweat dribbling down to the slopes of her neck, while her knuckles bit into the powdered whites of the seat's arms, like bracing for impact. Her shoulders slumped as she fell back to her seat, as the cushion squeezed beneath her. The chair shivered with a muted groan. The walls still breathed, but the scent had changed, stale, sharp, and carrying the dead weight of a hospital room. Heavy from the antiseptic, Zhaen scrunched her nose. The chair beneath her was a black vinyl, smooth and plain, yet unyielding.
Great. Smells like bleach and regret.
A slight tremble rumbled from her chest. Not far ahead, a hospital bed awaited. There, motionless, lay Yusuf, with strings of plastic tubes circulating his oxygen. His wrist was hooked to a clear, fluid-filled bag. It fed him through the tubes like a lifeline, an analogy disguised as a necessity, much like the bond she wished existed. At the edge of his bedside table, a tray of orchids sat in a clear vase, petals protruding too vividly for a room so sterile. Beside the vase, someone had left a key, covered neatly in transparent orange cellophane. The bright colors were more of an at-home celebration than something to mourn. Visitors had come and gone, and every smile, every polite word, and prayer slipping through her like static. They seared her eyes, too alive, too intense, as though mocking the broken thread that still hung between them. Or worse, a quiet thump in her still craving motion. No matter how much she denied it, her finger brushed over her lips, a nervous tick she barely noticed. The tension clung, as if she could press down the words she would never admit. With a hollow, trembling breath, she lowered her finger away and inched it closer to his bed. The sheets were wrinkled, and a faint outline of his chest rose and fell beneath them. She straightened it with stiff, shaky fingers, tugging at the sides carefully as though folding out of her own hesitation. Her eyes drifted to his face, unfazed and indifferent to her tending, as if her small act of care was something she owed him as a debt paid in sacrifice.
Are you there? You used to say I was too quiet. But now, I don't even know if I ever crossed your mind. Not after Mom.
Her hand cupped into slight fist, the fracture in her voice splitting through despite their strength she swore she'd hold on. Zhaen's throat simmered from the anger she'd kept all these years. Her hand hovered at the edge of his blanket as if a single tug could erase his indifference. Yet, his chest kept its rhythm, steady, shallow, and dull. The air around them thickened, trapping her between the same scared little girl she once was and the disturbed woman she had become. Forced to witness the sins of her father rot him from the inside out. She swallowed, jaw tight, and she'd pull back, her hands shaky, not by fear, but from the fury of being his reflection. Her fist, firm and steady, clenched at her sides. Only the scuff of her soles on the sterile floor echoed as she left, and small droplets of her guilt traced down her chin. She paused at the doorframe, and the fluorescent hall lights above flickered once as she listened to the soft whines of machines, the faint sweetness of Tetarik placed on a tray, the aroma strays from a family's small gathering near the waiting area, though nothing had changed. A part of her felt free.